Hi, everyone. Welcome to our CGconnect show, Untold Stories with Ines. We're so happy to have everyone on board. At this episode, you're also seeing my face. My name is Joanna. I'm behind the scenes from the CGconnect community. Just here to support Ines with this beautiful thing she's doing with us and to say thank you, Ines, for organizing this and making it possible. CGconnect is our new community platform, and we're so happy to have different hosts from everywhere joining us together, helping us build this beautiful, beautiful thing for the community. I'm not gonna take too much of the time, the show, so I'm gonna hand it over to Ines. I just wanted to say hi to everyone. Thank you for joining CGconnect, and yes, Ines, the stage is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna, for the quick introduction. Thank you so much. And hey, everyone, and welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here today. And for those of who are new, I'm Ines. I'm a 3D artist. I'm based in London. I work for Sybarite, and this is Untold Stories. So every artist you admire has a story they never posted, and today we're telling one of those stories. And my guest this episode starts from zero in Tunisia, built his way into the international games industry. His work is honestly fantastic, and the level of details and craft in what he creates genuinely stopped me the first time I saw it. And he just came home to build something entirely his own at 25 years old. And he recently as well launched his studio called Last Bullet. And that name, if it doesn't tell you something about the way this man thinks, the next hour will. So Montassar, welcome to Untold Stories. And I'm really glad to have you here. Welcome, Montassar. And you can see now some of Montassar's work on the screen as well. Hey, Montassar, how are you?
Hello,
Good?
how are you, Ines? I'm
I'm
good. How
so
about
happy
you?
to have you here today with me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a very great opportunity to talk. Thanks so much for the invitation. I think we have a lot to talk about today.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I'm so happy to have you here because your work is gorgeous, and I think sometimes we need to see some people like you joining us on Untold Stories and tell us about your work, about your personality, about everything. So before everything, before softwares, before renders, before animation, who is Montassar?
Okay, so I'm Montassar, 25 years old, 3D artist from Tunisia. I study here in Tunisia. I finished my high school education here. I get my bachelor degree here. I did work in some small studio in Tunisia for a few years after graduation, and during my study as well. I was like working and studying at the same time. And at some point in 2024, I went to finish my master in UK. And yeah, I finished my master, and I'm now back in Tunisia, and I'm running my own studio, my little own studio.
But still a
Yeah,
thing, by the way,
yeah,
because I
still,
know
yeah, it
it's
will
not
be
easy.
bigger.
And guys, he is 25 years old. Just I'm trying to say that again and again because I know it's not easy to start or to build or to launch a company at this age. But let me first tell the audience how we met because because actually it's a good story because we never met in Tunisia. I'm from Tunisia again, and we never met in Tunisia, but we met here in London 2 times. And I still can't like believe we met here, but we never met in Tunisia. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
do believe I discovered more places in UK more than my country.
same by the way.
Yeah, I spent like 23 years old in Tunisia and I never leave my city. But when I went to UK, I travel everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah. I remember we met once at 3D London as well. It was
yeah,
a
you did
coincidence,
even.
I remember. But was so cool to meet you and to know the person, because we met first on ArtStation Instagram, and after we met in the UK while you're doing your masters. So after this, after you talked about a little bit about yourself, I want you to walk us through your journey and what you studied, and the first time you start 3D, and like the moment it clicked, when exactly. Like, you can
Yeah,
show us as well any, if you have any old work or something that you want to
yeah.
show to the
I would tell
audience.
you my story first, how I start 3D and how I start doing like art in general, 2D, and because I was doing 2D stuff before, and after that I will share my screen and show you how I start and
Yeah, sure.
how is my level
Go
right
for
now.
it.
So yeah, since I was young, I was drawing a lot, so I was passionate about drawing, and yeah, I study in public school, and then I did the mechanic study in my high school, and in university I start doing 3D animation in Izam Manuba, which is like very popular university in Tunisia and
Yeah,
probably
one
the
of the
only
best.
one. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on
really.
the only one.
And
There is no
the
like,
only
yeah,
one,
the
yeah, in
only
terms
one.
of 3D. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only one. So everything starts from there. I start learning 3D, and before that, actually, the first year in university, we was not doing 3D. We was doing like design stuff, 2D
Mm-hmm,
Illustrator, Photoshop,
mm-hmm,
and the next year I decided to continue in 3D animation because we
mm-hmm.
had the option to decide to go in 3D animation or to continue in design stuff. In the first year, my roommate was doing 3D stuff using Blender, and when I saw him, like, uh, I
It
said,
blows
like,
your mind.
wow, this is awesome. Yeah, yeah. I asked him to show me which software he's using, and he showed me Blender. So I start
Oh,
with
really?
Blender. Unfortunately, I'm
Oh,
not using Blender right now. Yeah, but everything starts with the Blender and the donut tutorial. Everyone know. Yeah, the very popular one. Yeah. So I start learning 3D, and at the same time with my study, I did work in many like places as a part-time. In the second year, I worked as full-time and never go to university. We'll talk about this later.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
because I almost failed that year. And after I finished my second year in 3D animation, I get my diploma. I stayed in Tunisia. I get a job like after 2 or 3 months from my graduation with the US studio, Mob Entertainment. Yeah, we was working on very like big title, which is Poppy Playtime. I worked with them for more than 2 years, and after that I went to the UK to finish my master. Yeah, that's. I also I want to like the master was for 3D art, so my master was focusing on game art only, not
Mm-hmm.
animation, not anything. After that, I back to Tunisia here. There is a lot of detail I can't talk about right now because it would take too long, but later you can ask me about the small detail in between.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you share with us if you have any 2D sketches or the things that you started with?
Yeah,
I don't know
I'll
if you
share right
have.
now. I
Yeah,
have a lot.
I want to see before when you
I save
started.
everything. I don't like waste my stuff. I
If
always
you have
save them
any
in the
2D
drive.
art, yeah, because I want to start from the beginning.
Yeah. The stuff I will show now are not like public anymore, so it's very exclusive.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
we have the exclusivity to see these
yeah, a
things.
lot of stuff. Those are hand drawing stuff I was doing back to 2016 and 2017. So you can imagine I was 16 years old or 17 years old. I
Oh,
was
oh, that's so
uh,
cool.
I was selling them, to make some money.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was like
Oh
like
my
side
God,
job.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
so
stuff like
cool.
this. Yeah, this is the only
Right.
one I'm having right now.
That's
So yeah,
so
I was
nice.
only doing 2D stuff. And when I get to the university, the first year I start learning 2D stuff. So you can see here, I translate to digital artworks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the tablet, Photoshop,
That's cool.
Illustrator, lot of like
So
doodle art.
start
Those
from
are like,
hand. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's so cute.
those are, most of them are are freelance work for Fiverr client.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was studying in the studying and doing some
That's
freelance
so
work to make
nice.
money. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
a lot of stuff. This is my university logo.
Yeah, it is.
I was trying to be creative at that time. Yeah,
That's so
a lot of artworks.
cool. I didn't know about this part. I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, you will not find them anywhere.
But
They were
they're
public
so
in my
nice.
media before. Yeah, yeah, not bad
That's so cool.
at that time.
I like them. They're so nice.
Yeah, but
So you started as a 2D artist, like
yeah,
drawing all these things from sketches to 2D art, drawings and all these things. So what happened? Why after that you said, "Oh no, I want to move to
yeah,
3D
yeah.
things."
Actually, that's a good
If you still
question.
have anything to show us, yeah, show us
Oh
if
yeah,
you.
I can stop this. Oh, okay, I will keep it. Actually, start um, I start
Yeah,
doing
show us
2D to
that.
make money, and at some point, I realized it's very it's very hard market, because in Fiverr, as you know, when you work as freelancer from Middle East, they will, everything you did will not you will not make good money out of it.
Yeah, that's right.
The
Yeah,
the freelance is very cheap. For example, this one, it's only $10 or $5, and you spend on it a lot of time to do it. So
yeah.
I thought it's not worth it. I need to learn something new. To I need to go out from my comfort zone, because I was very comfortable doing
Doing
drawing like
all
this. Yeah, so I decided it's time to focus on learning 3D, and with 3D I can get more better opportunity. I can work with the studio. I can,
this.
you know, yeah. So after that I start doing 3D, as you can see here. Those are not public also anymore. Very, very, very old artworks. Let me
Yeah, I want to
open
see
some
the
stuff.
the first renders if you have
Those are one for the first render in Blender.
with Blender, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this one, I was doing some like personal stuff, with the board play cards, Tunisian version.
Yeah,
I, I was trying to create something
that's
new. As
so
you can
nice.
see here, I do
Yeah,
sketches, everything from
sketches.
scratch at that time, because yeah,
So while studying, you were doing this.
yeah, yeah. All of this I did during my studies. So I was studying and
Mhm.
learning. As you can see, it's not the best. It's bad actually. You can see the
So you
texture is
modeled this
awful.
with Blender.
Yeah, with Blender, a
That's
lot of
so
stuff. This is also with Blender. This is with Blender.
that's so cool.
Yeah, so
Nice.
this is my start. Actually, I have a lot of artwork are very bad, because I want to show them to
They're not
people
bad.
who are new in the field, to give them some,
Yeah, they're not bad.
because
It's
it's
just
a,
the start. Yeah, but
yeah,
they
yeah.
are not.
So yeah, this is how I start 3D, and currently this is my art station.
Hmm.
So I cleaned it up, and it's only have the best artwork, as you can see here. Yeah, I learned a lot with time, because in the beginning I was only focusing on modeling without any optimization. The texture is very
Hmm.
not optimized. It's not following the game pipeline. But after that, when I worked with game studio, when I work on big project, I learned the pipeline, the optimization, and my work get better with time.
Mm-mm. So when you discovered game optimization, so something clicked, and
Yeah,
what did that feel like? What you find specific in gaming optimization that you said, okay, this is
yeah.
my thing.
Actually, there is like story behind that. How I fall in love with 3D optimization, because in the first like months of learning Blender, I had no idea about optimization, so I was like creating very high poly dance model, nothing optimized,
Yeah.
like a lot of texture, and Blender was crashing every time. I trying to texture something very dense, like with million of polygon. So that
Yeah.
was like
We
very
all do that.
demotivating. Yeah. Even my
Yeah.
roommate didn't know how to fix it. So we both didn't have any idea about optimization. And
Yeah.
one day I met one of my current friend right now. He worked in Dubai, and he invited me to join him in a coffee, and he bring his laptop, and without asking him, he started showing me how to render with Marmoset and the Real
Mm-hmm.
Engine, and I get surprised because I didn't know about real-time render at that time. Yeah, and he showed me how to bake stuff, how to optimize stuff, and yeah, since that I fall in love with optimization and game stuff. I
That's
hope he's
yeah.
listening to the podcast,
I
or
hope
I can
so.
see it later.
Hope so. After that, you left Tunisia and you started your master's degree in the UK,
Mhm.
away from home, from your family, friends, alone in a new country. And I want to ask, just what did that chapter actually feel like? What was the first cultural shock, or what the thing that you want to say about moving to the UK, starting your master degree here?
Yeah. So actually, it was like a very hard decision because the money I spent to go to study in the UK was all my savings. So,
Yeah, it's so.
putting
By the
all
way,
your
it's so
money, to
expensive.
go study. So
It's so
I can
expensive.
buy a house with that money in Tunisia, small house,
Yeah,
and
it's
stay
so
here.
expensive. Yeah.
So, but I was thinking in long term, because when you think in long term, we'll gain more benefits in the future. So I was thinking it's a good opportunity to make connection, to know the industry, to improve my English, to learn from professional people, to make friends, because it's not just about work or 3D. It's about other stuff as well. So yeah, I take the decision. I went to the UK. I didn't get any shock culture, to be honest, because the place was very cool. People are really friendly, more than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
No one judged me because my English was very bad at the time.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, they try to explain, they try to talk slowly and explain again and again. They are very kind, and it's a very rich opportunity, to be honest. I met people from around the world, from South Africa, from Asia, from America, UK, Europe country. All of the people like come to study together in the same university, and you need to talk to them. We have a lot of event during study. We are not just like studying. We only study like 3 or 4 years for hour a week. So
That's
we only have few classes, and the rest is like activity groups. We have time to experiment, to learn. So it was a very good experience at that time. I make a very, very good friends, and some of the clients we are working with right now are from the UK, and I met them during the event in university and during some game event out there.
yeah. This is the power of going out and going to events. Try to
Yeah,
connect with people. It's so important. So one of your clients is one of the people that you met in the UK. That's so cool. That's so nice.
yeah, and he's one of my friend right now, so he's really
Amazing.
good. Yeah,
That's so cool. So you didn't have any culture shock when you moved to the UK?
yeah. I had a cultural shock when I back to Tunisia first time. I get used to the
Yeah,
UK weather and to the UK stuff, but when I get here, it's very like really different.
yeah, yeah. You haven't seen um the houses, like around 100 houses, like they are copy paste. That was my culture shock, by the way, when I moved to the UK.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
like
clean, and everything is straight.
all the
Very
houses, they look the same, just the door color is different. But apart from that,
yeah,
copy
yeah.
paste. That was my
Everyone go outside will notice everything is very saturated out there. when I back here, everything is like desaturated. I don't know why. Maybe it's the weather or the dust, because of the, I don't know, but
Mm.
color there are very vibrant.
Colors are very That's so funny. You almost failed your degree in Tunisia. You skipped a lot of classes and everything happening for like at once. And then
Yeah,
10 years old, 10 years, sorry, later, you left and you went to the UK and you got your master degree. So what changed inside Montassar between
yeah.
these two versions of yourself?
Actually, I'm not. I don't. I'm not happy with that. I wish I could join all the classes during university because I was not
Because
attending
it's
because I have
important.
I, yeah, I have a commitment at that time, and the commitment was to make money. So it was
Yeah.
very hard decision. So when I get a job, full-time one, I decided to not go to university. But I was attending only, one of 10 classes or one of
Hmm.
20 classes. Some of the teacher I didn't even met at that time. So yeah, and there was very good like teacher. I told them my situation and they understand me and they told me it's fine, it's okay, you can work because they know my work is good. They
Amazing.
know I'm
Yeah.
doing the exams. I'm doing good with the exams, so there is no need to attend the classes. Like I really appreciate because they understand me at that point and they supported me because also some tutor was not like didn't want to understand my situation and they
Hmm.
want me to come to their classes even they know I'm working and I need to work at the time.
Hmm.
So yeah, after that it was very stressful year to be honest because I was thinking I'm going to fail
No,
and waste 1 year of my life. But thankfully I succeeded. Yeah,
that's
after that uh, one of the things I make me motivated to go to the UK because during university in Tunisia I didn't enjoy my time. I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't,
in which
in
term?
university, in
You mean
university,
you mean the people or
yeah,
studies or what exactly?
exactly. Most people in university, they meet new people, they make friends, they go
Hmm.
outside,
Hmm.
they join events, they did a lot of stuff. But my university, all the 3 years, all just working, and exams. So I
Yeah,
feel like I miss a part of
yeah, the best part.
the best part of university. I missed it, so I thought it will be a great opportunity to focus to to fix that, when I went to the UK. So I make my best effort to meet people, to go to
Mhm.
events, to
That's important.
make a new connection, enjoy my time, travel. So yeah, I'm very
Hiking,
happy with that decision. Hiking, yeah,
as you did, yeah, when you
yeah.
when you moved to the UK.
Not always, yeah. It's very hard to hike because the mountains are very high. But I enjoy cycling. Everything
Hmm.
is clean. The road is very
Hmm.
it's very
They're
awesome
built
there.
for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's move to the personal projects. When you start a personal project, not a client job,
Hmm.
something something that you create for yourself, let's say, or for your portfolio, where does it actually like begin? From where do you begin usually? From an image, from a reference, a feeling? From where exactly? Because every artist has different thoughts and um like about this. Personally, I love starting with the feeling most of the time, but sometimes when I took a picture or I walk somewhere, I want to create something. What about you?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's very different actually from person to person, but for me, I think it came from emotion most of the time. When I feel stressed or I feel I have something to tell, I have emotion I can't talk about. I put all that emotion in the artwork. So it's like a reflection of me, of my feeling. So it's a very good way to to relax, because after I finish artwork, I feel less heavy. I'm sure you have that feeling.
Yeah, 100%. It's just sometimes I feel I have like sometimes even a good feeling, or I have a problem or something. The first thing that I think about is just to create something that makes me feel better, and I just start with that feeling. And after, sometimes I can't finish that project, to be honest. Sometimes I finish that project, but I don't want to publish it. So it depends. But it's so good. Like after that, you feel super relieved and you feel happy. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
most
important.
people think we do art just to share it, but I have a lot of artwork I didn't share
Yeah,
because
same, by the
I do
way.
it for myself, you know.
Same.
I have a
Yeah.
lot of hand drawing stuff I didn't share with anyone because I
Mhm.
just do it for myself, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just
That's how we
you.
relax, how we chill.
Yeah. Some people they go out for a walk, and other people they just sit down
Exactly. Yeah.
and do 3D work, which is yeah makes you
People
feel
think we are people think we are crazy because when they saw us doing like 3D complicated stuff,
yeah,
they get
100%.
like surprised at how we enjoy doing that,
Yeah, some
sitting
people
for 8 hours without like going out or
yeah, it's just
yeah,
like in your bubble doing your art.
yeah.
It's super. It's amazing. I really like that. It helped me in my life. So I don't know if our audience they share this with us or not. Um, so if you can um, take us inside your process, if you want, if you have anything to
Yeah.
share, of course. So from a blank screen, from nothing to a final render. So what does that journey look like for you? If you have anything, like show us if you have any project that you have.
Okay, can you see? Um, okay, I'm a little bit confused which one to pick because
Like the one that you really like.
really, very hard
Not a random one,
decision.
please.
Maybe this, maybe the car.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So there is. Oh yeah. Let me go to the breakdown here. Yeah. So they can find the full article on level if they want to check it. So
Hmm.
let me go back. So the first step before doing anything is to make a mood board for my project. I always do that. I like to be clean, nice. That's helped a lot to like to speed your time, not wasting time, you know, to have a
Can you
direction.
zoom in so we can see maybe?
Yeah, it's not very
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
okay.
screenshot. Yeah, but like, I think we have the link over here.
Hmm.
It should be better. Yeah, as you can see here, I have like a main reference.
References, yeah.
The car was part of big project, but as you can see, I've organized everything. I have a story. I have a project planning for each day, for each week. I have separated the part of the project. Actually, this is not very detailed planning for the car itself because the car itself is a part of a project. So this is the planning for the whole project. It's like a small environment. So I did the mood board, collect reference, make make a time and the deadline for my stuff for every day. What should I do? When I should finish, stuff like that. That's really helped a lot to stay in track. Many people like start without doing any planning and they get demotivated soon because they think it's impossible to finish the work or the project. So I really recommend to people to do a good planning before doing anything. Even small project, it's good to have a planning and define a timeline for it. So after that, here is like more reference for the car I collected.
Yeah.
So you need to have reference for each part from different
Yeah,
angles.
it's so important to have real references for
Exactly. Yeah.
whatever you want to model or to recreate. So you, yeah, it's so
Yeah.
important.
It's
Real
also have
references. Yeah.
It's also good to have 3D reference as well, because
As
some
well.
people
Yeah.
did the same stuff or very close stuff before you, and that can give you a good idea about the
Yeah. Some
typology,
inspiration.
the poly count, stuff like that. So that can save a lot of time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So for this car, for example, I start with making like a blueprint for it, start modeling, as you can see here, with a very simple shape. You always need to do blockout and then start tackling them one by one, polishing them. Always try to, when you work on big stuff, try to work smarter as you can. That will save you a lot of time. As you can see here, I just make a half of a car and then I mirror it, make imperfection. Yeah, I always try to keep the poly count very low as possible so I can adjust it later. So this is the high poly one,
Mm-hmm.
poly version. And this is the final low poly one with the wireframe, the UV stuff, texture.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't open the video now. It will take
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
time, but I really recommend people to come here and watch the videos here
Yeah.
on how texture
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. You can jump in
So,
after to watch all the
yeah,
breakdown.
and yeah, as you can see here, I put a lot of like storytelling stuff, a lot of like,
So
I
cool.
want to put like my touch, like some
Of
creativity
course,
in the
it wasn't.
artwork.
Yeah.
Exactly, because those detail was not like included in the reference. No one did them before. But when you did something different, something unique, story, your artwork, it will pop up. People will like it, and it can get more viral.
That's
So
right.
always, it's better to add your touch. Yeah,
Yeah.
here is
It's
like a breakdown
crucial.
for the post process. Yeah,
That's amazing. That's so
thank you.
nice. Good. Amazing work. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing this with us. So as you are a creative person, you know that sometimes it's not easy for us to be creative all the time. So every creative person, let's say, hits a wall, and when we are like completely stuck, so what you actually do when you are blocked? Do you try to push through, or do you just say, oh, let me wait, maybe I'm going to be okay, like next week, so what do you do? Because it's super important. We all have sometimes that feeling that push us down. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, this is something very common actually, because everyone get burned out at some point. Even me, I get burned out many times every month.
Yeah.
But you know, in order to be consistent, you need to force yourself sometimes to work, even you feel burned out, even you feel you don't want to work, even you feel stressed or sad. You need to work. You need to push yourself, because nobody can know his limit. And every time I feel like I don't want to work, after 1 hour of forcing myself, I feel like I can do more than I expected. So my recommendation to people is to not stop early. Don't like feel demotivated early. If you feel like you can't do or finish the artwork, or you feel in bad mode, just try to force yourself for maybe 15 minutes. Try to stay in the laptop, put music or something. Force yourself to work, and you will see it's more easy than you expect. This is always like mostly happen when we start a new project, because we see it as if something very complicated, but when we start, it's become very easy, more than we expect. Sometimes I say this will take me like a whole week, and then I finish it in 2 days. So just you need to push yourself. And there is something else, when you really like get to the limit and get burned out. At that point, when you even can't sit in front of your laptop, then you need to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, I take 1 day, 2 day, doing nothing, chill, go with family, and then I back to work.
Yeah, it is
But
important, yeah, to have that break.
yeah, yeah. But when you just start a project and you feel demotivated, don't give up. You need to force yourself. If you don't force yourself, you will not do any progress. You will not learn. You will not because industry is so hard, and if you don't force yourself to improve, other people will do. So it's like a challenge. You need to think about it like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah. About the project that you showed us earlier, I want to just if I want to ask you if there is anything was going on while in your life while you were trying to make that work. Is just I want to I want to know, because it's always related with something happening maybe in your life, because you picked that one.
Yeah.
Because I always believe that like work is always carries the person who made it. So there is anything was happening during while like working on that project particularly, or no?
Yeah. Actually,
If you
there
want to
is.
talk about it, of course. Pick another project if you are happy to show us.
Yeah, something most people don't know about me is I was a very, very introvert person. So I get more extrovert after I went to the UK. But
Mhm.
before I was always at home. I don't go out. I have only few friends. But yeah, with time, I met many people, and 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 that's get reflected in my artwork, because as you can see in the artwork here, there is a lot of detail people will not see.
Mhm.
For example, when someone, let's see the side view, I have something to show. Where is the side view? Yeah, this one, for example.
Mhm.
Let's zoom it out. Yeah, most people will
Yeah.
see those details here, but actually I added a lot of details everywhere in the car. You
Mhm.
can see here, there is a lot of storytelling
Yeah.
stuff. There is there is,
Yeah. Always
there is
a lot of details that people
a
skip, and
a lot,
they scroll. They don't know what's going on in that piece. But
exactly.
sometimes the
And
artist puts some like stuff. What's this? Sorry.
yeah, it's like a
Ah,
devil and stairs, and each one of them actually have like a
wow.
meaning, but I don't want to talk them or mention the detail about
That's
why I put
amazing.
them here, the names, because I want people to think,
Yeah.
and to find the story themselves for it.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I think
fantastic.
everyone have a story like
Of
that.
course. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me go to show something else. To be all to I'm that kind of artist who like doing damaged stuff. So if you check my art station, everything is dirty and rusty.
If you have any other work that has details that we can see, just share it with us now. If you
Mhm.
if you if you
There
are
is a lot of stuff here,
oh,
a lot of details to it.
amazing.
And, it's like post-apocalyptic, when people shower 5 minutes for 100, for 1,000 Bitcoin, or I don't know, it's Ethereum, I think. So yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit creative.
It is that's amazing.
Yeah, you can just do a simple back, but with those details, you put your touch on it, and it becomes very unique one.
Yeah.
This project I'm very proud of. I did for graduation for
Mm-hmm.
my master. So it's
That's
like a big
fantastic.
environment. This
Wow.
one is very like a tricky environment, because when you look at it, you feel it's very, very big. It take many months to finish, but actually I
Mm-hmm.
finished it in 1 month or less. And
Wow.
everything was made from scratch. Yeah, because when you work in game industry, you always think, this is my tutor name, Shafiq. I put his name here in the robot.
That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. So
All
when
these
when you work,
details, just like
uh,
amazing.
Yeah, so when you work in game industry, you always need to work in a smart way. You need to be fast because the deadline is very tight. The workload is very heavy, so you need always to find tricks, use modular stuff, use tileable material, find a way to speed out the workflow. So that's something very important I learned from the game. You can see here the progress how it starts.
Yeah.
Imagine when you look at the clock out like this,
Mm.
it's very like
Wow,
stressful.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
So, and I did
all
some
good.
animation for the product as well because, as I told you in my bachelor degree, I was doing animation stuff.
Yeah.
Optimization. As you can see, I did all the environment with only those pieces
Mm-hmm.
and only few material. Like all of them are tileable material.
Mm-mm.
So making those can take 2 weeks and the rest 2 weeks for set dressing and lighting and other stuff. Some props also I did for that project. Material in Substance Designer.
Yeah, all the textures.
Yeah, all of them I did from scratch. And also beside this project, I did 2 other projects. This one, the Nature
Same
Heart, and this one.
same
Yeah,
time.
I did all of them in 2 months and a half almost because my
Wow.
tutor told me we do an environment for the graduation. I told him I will do 3 of them, 3 once. So yeah, and he told me if you make 3, I will make you the full mark. And yeah, he gave me the full mark.
You deserve that. You
Yeah,
deserve
it was like a challenge. So
that.
I
But
pushed myself and did it.
that's amazing. That's fantastic. This is
Thank
another
you.
project
Yeah,
that you
this is
made
the
the same.
second one.
Yeah.
So the goal of those projects was to tackle many like new stuff because I
Mm-hmm.
want to learn, for example, here how to do water, how to do foliage, how to do rocks from scratch, how to do. So every project is totally different from the other one. Like the other one is sci-fi, this is nature. The other project is under the water. So I learned a lot of stuff about shading,
Yeah. So
simulation,
for you,
stuff like
it
that.
is, sorry, for you, it is important to, when you try to do new project, you need to do something new that you never did, so you can learn from this thing.
Yeah,
Did you agree with me?
it's
Because for me, it's so important. Like I try every time to try something new, or try new idea, or try to build something or new style. Do you agree with me? Do you
yeah,
have the same thoughts?
yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Hmm.
That's very important. If you want to improve, you need to always learn new stuff because 3D field is very, very big field, and if you focus only on the if you focus only on the stuff you can do, the stuff you feel comfortable with, you will not find a place in the market. The market now is very challenges, and you need to be diverse, in your mind. You need to be able to do many stuff, especially if you want to work with a small studio, indie studio. You need to have to do modeling, environment, foliage, simulation, many stuff. So I always try to push my limit in each environment with different vibes, with different shader, with different render lightings.
Yeah, yeah.
Even here, like as you can see, I did a character just for practicing ZBrush because I know it's very important to have ZBrush skill.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's nice.
everything
So
here is made
more
totally in
characters.
ZBrush
Yeah,
from scratch. Yeah.
that's
So it's good to
insane.
show that you can do sculpting, but you don't need to focus on sculpting. For my example here, I'm an environment artist,
Hmm.
so I don't want to put too many characters in my portfolio that will make the recruiter confused, the people confused. So I only put one of them to show that I can do character, but most of my portfolio is environment and assets and
Mm,
material stuff.
that's amazing. That's so
Mm.
cool. And I
Yeah,
know in the game industry is different from arc-based, because there is an unspoken hierarchy in the gaming industry. So um, sometimes, because more than like where you are from this, as someone who's building your career remotely from Tunisia, did you ever feel like that ceiling? Like, did you ever feel like you had to work hard and twice just to be seen? Because I know it's so hard for us to be under the spot, or our work is shown everywhere. So how is it for you? How did you push through it?
Yeah, that's a very good point. And actually, it's a very harsh reality because he was here in Tunisia and I'm still in Tunisia. And in the beginning, it's very, very hard to be visible. It's very hard to get recognized from studio, from company, to get like reaction in your artworks. But the good thing is if you do it the right way, if you follow a good strategy, you can get recognized at some point because, for example, many people are doing artwork, they didn't share them, or
Mm-hmm.
even they did artwork, like they share like one this month and another artwork after 2 or 3 months, and that gap between the two projects will make the LinkedIn or station algorithm make his artwork not visible to other people. So the strategy I followed at that time to make my work visible to people and get more attention and get like more opportunity is to share like every week. I remember the
Yeah,
first
it's
job
a
I
lot of
get with,
work to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
I was
you have to
sharing
be
every week. Imagine you need to finish artwork, you rent the renters, the polish it. Each week you need to finish an artwork. So
It's a
I
lot.
remember my first job with Mob Entertainment. I was sharing every week after my graduation for almost 2 months.
I remember
And
that.
one of my artwork, this one get viral. Let me show
Yeah.
you. If you can see this one, it's very simple. I don't
Mm-hmm.
ask people to share complicated stuff every week. As you can see, it's
Mm-hmm.
just the gloves.
It's not just the gloves. It's so
Yeah,
good. It's amazing.
yeah, but
A lot of
it's
hard
when you
work
think about it,
behind it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's achievable in 1 week.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a big environment. It's not like very mechanical, complicated stuff. It's very like it's very
Yeah.
possible to finish it in short time. And this artwork get viral, and one of the recruiters saw it, and they reached me by email. And when they saw this one, they went to my portfolio and checked the other artworks, and they like them and contact me, and I start working in 1 week. So there is opportunity, there
Yeah.
is chances, especially to work remotely. I don't recommend to people to think to go outside directly, work in big studio, AAA studio.
Mm-hmm.
There is very good opportunity within these studios, small studios, so if they keep sharing their artwork, at some point they will be recognized and they will get like good opportunity.
Yeah. It is important to share your work and try to be active. Um, it's crucial, as Montassar said. It's super important for us, because if you are not going to do that, no one is going to recognize you or your work. So just show up
Exactly.
and try. Yeah.
The competition is too hard. So if you don't share and show yourself to people, other people will do that and they will get the job instead of you. And
Yeah.
something I want to mention to people who don't want to share their artwork because they think it's bad or they think it's not the top quality or best quality, that's really not good. Even you feel your work is not good, just share it, get feedback from people. People will keep following you if they see you are posting always. They give you advice, they support you, and with time you will get better. I was sharing very like simple stuff in the beginning. I didn't feel
Same
shy
as
of
well.
my artwork. Yeah, I always share. I don't care. Like I
Yeah. I
finish, I
was
share. I
afraid as
finish, I
well.
share. I finish.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
afraid to post my first 3D render. I was like, oh no, this is not good to post. But afterwards,
yeah.
it's
You
so
know,
important to do that
yeah.
and to be
If you
active. I
feel
was like,
shy,
yeah, you feel
if you
shy.
feel
Like, no, people, they are super, like, their work is amazing. Why I'm going to share my very decent render, but it's not true. You have to learn to share your work wherever it is and get feedback. And we have different platforms to share your work. We have CGconnect, we have Chaos Campus, there is Theo as well. Hi Theo, if you are watching me, trying to help the community. So it's so important to share your work. And Montassar, he gets a lot of opportunity after that.
Also, don't forget that when you look to people with very, very great artwork, don't forget
And compare
they spend a
yourself.
lot of time. Yeah, don't compare yourself to them. For sure, when they start, they was like you or maybe
Yeah,
worse than you. So don't get
yeah,
demotivated because they
absolutely.
spend a lot of time to get at that level. And the good, if you feel like shy to share your artwork, share them and mention you just new or you still learning. So
Mm-hmm.
you will not get hard judgment from people because some people like, through harsh comments. So mention you are new, you are learning, you are trying something new
Yeah,
for you, and people will just give you feedback instead.
yeah. And wait for the feedback. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Montassar, about the game industry, because from the outside, it looks like a dream. A lot of people they would start doing um, gaming, but if you live like in the deadlines or the remote work or the project that usually get cancelled sometimes, the uncertainty, what's the one thing like nobody warned you about the game industry in general? Like they should have come with like a warning label saying to you, "Oh, Montassar, that thing or that thing." So, what what's your opinion about this?
Yeah. Just I want to clarify something. The game industry was very stable before, as you know. Everything changed in the past few years. So the game industry was good. People was having good time, was having stable jobs like any other jobs,
Yeah,
as I think for sure.
yeah.
But recently everything changed. So this is like something unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
But I think currently the game industry is not stable at all.
Mm-hmm.
Most people like working and at the same time looking for another job. We always have that time, when we are work and always posting. And that's very normal because you don't know when everything like change or this project stop. So we need to always have to a backup plan. Uh,
Mm,
I hope everything get better soon. To be honest, because I always try to be positive. I think at some point the industry will back stable again. More opportunity will come. Junior artists will have chance to join
yeah.
and work. Yeah, there is a
Yeah.
lot of downside, for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. As you said, the industry moves incredibly fast, and new tools nowadays, new artists. Do you feel that pressure? Like, how do you carry all these things, and specifically with AI now? And have you used AI or in general?
Mhm.
Um, because a lot of young artists they are scared right now because for them every time when I met new starter he's like asking me, oh, why I need to learn 3D if AI can do it now. So what do you want to maybe tell them, or like your opinion about this?
Yeah. First, I agree with you. Everything is going very, very fast. Crazy, very crazy. Every time you need to learn new technology, every time you need to, the pipeline is changing, new tools, people creating new stuff with nodes, with,
Mm-hmm.
it's sometimes you feel you can't keep in track, but
Yeah, every day
you
there
need
is
to,
something new.
yeah, that's make me
Like daily.
stressful, something. I feel I'm behind people. So,
Yeah.
but I'm trying at least to recap,
Mm-hmm.
to understand the technology. I don't need to try it. I don't need to try everything because at that point I will get distracted. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm focusing on my stuff, my work, environment stuff, but I'm also trying to have an idea on what's going on outside. I don't need to learn it or practice it a lot, just to have an idea. That's my recommendation to people, because if you try to learn everything, you can't do that and you will fail at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the AI, I
Have
think
you used
it's
anything
become,
at all?
yeah, I've used it for sure, yeah, but not too much, yeah. It's something like, uh, it will become part of the industry at some point. Many studios use AI now in their pipeline.
Yeah.
It's becoming normal thing in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't avoid it
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Some studio didn't allow using AI in their pipeline. Some of them allow. But we'll see how things will change with time. For me, I just use it, to speed like some routine stuff. The boring stuff
Yeah.
when you write stuff,
Repetitive maybe as
description.
well. Mm.
Exactly, yeah. Sometime with brainstorming idea, um, generating some reference, writing stuff, organizing elements, But currently, I didn't use it in generating 3D stuff or texture, because most of the work we did is for other studio, and they are very strict about AI using.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good to learn, because who know, maybe that will become the standard pipeline in the
Mm-hmm.
future. But yeah, I my recommendation to people is not to be scared about AI, because AI will probably not be able to totally, replace the artist,
Mm-hmm.
because we need the creative input of the artist, the direction, the composition stuff. There is many stuff AI can't do at the moment. It's okay, he can do modeling, but maybe that can be helpful for you to speed up your workflow when you do lookout, stuff like that. But he can't replace you at all. He can't do full level set dressing, with gameplay element, with interaction, and the full story and the full gameplay. We always need the real human artist, and the AI maybe will be like the junior artist with you to help you do the boring stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Um, I want as well to just I'm always thinking in a different way, but it's just a question that I want to ask you. There is let's imagine a kid in Tunisia right now. He is so talented, okay? And he is super hungry to learn. He's sitting in his room, okay, scrolling through Behance Art Station, thinking about his dream is like for him is too big for where he is. And you were that kid. So what do you actually say to him? Old Montassar and Montassar of today. But sorry for like being a bit.
It's very, very like, my brain is thinking now. Very, very, yeah, it's a good question. Maybe I would say to myself it was worth it. It was worth it, or that time I spent learning, or the burnout I had, or the hard
Yeah,
moment, the stressful moment, the rejection I get, because I'm like other people. I get rejected many, many times, Every time I feel disappointed why they didn't hire me, why my work is good, why I didn't get the job,
doubting
But
yourself. Yeah.
yeah, but every time I learn something, every time I get better, every time, I need to learn from my mistake. So yeah, I was saying to myself, it was very worth it for all that hard work.
And proud of you. Maybe you can
Yeah,
say to
proud
him.
for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, last thing maybe, I mean, I think we answered, because I want to ask you about if new people they are watching us right now and they are doubting everything, the industry, themselves. What do you want to say to them?
Mm. I think this is something temporary. at some point everything will back to normal. So don't get demotivated. Keep learning, even you don't get a job or you don't get your dream job. Maybe you get a job, simple one that you don't like. Just keep learning, keep improving, because who knows, maybe at some point everything will back to normal, and you need to be ready at that point to.
Yeah, that's amazing. I want to read some questions from the chat because a lot of people that are watching you, Yatin Latiri, we have Shrif through Ulfa account, I guess. There is a question that Esteban has asked. He said, I see you using 3ds Max, Blender, Unreal Engine. What computer do you use to support all those things and programs, softwares?
Yeah, he talked about like the hardware. Okay, wait. I got the question. You mean because the
Just about
hardware
the
are
capacity
very
of your
okay. The question make me a little bit confusing.
no
So
about
yeah, I'm using a laptop right now. It's a
to
little bit
run
like
all these things.
yeah. It's a Alienware laptop. It's a good one with 60 RAM, RTX 4080. Yeah, it's with a good processor as well. So it's a very good one. It's also very good because I was moving a lot during my study in university. So I prefer to have a laptop I can take to university, or when I go to other city. It's very easy to take with me and work from any place.
Good. Let's move to the fun part and the final part, which is the 5 fast questions without thinking. Just one word, please. So, okay. Between ZBrush and Substance, and you are not allowed to say it depends of the project or whatever. Just pick one. Without thinking.
I think yeah. I would pick ZBrush because because with ZBrush you can do sculpting and also you can do texturing. So, but with Substance I can only do texture, but I can do sculpting. So
You
the
want
smart decision is
more
to go.
work.
Yeah. With ZBrush I can do more stuff. I can do texture, optimization, everything in ZBrush. So I love Substance Painter better because I like texturing a lot, but ZBrush is more practical, I think, and save my day many times during work.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 2. If you pick between two, a render that feels alive and a perfect render, which one do you prefer or do you want?
I believe
Something
there is no
feels alive but
perfection.
not perfect, or something
Alive and not perfect.
nice?
No, I don't like perfection because perfection take time, waste time. If you do a project and you are like 90 level or 85 level done with that project and it looks very good, you don't need always to push it to the 100% because you will never reach the 100%. You're probably gonna waste time and get stuck. So my recommendation is to make it looks good with no issue, and mark it as done.
Nice answer. Third question. How many unfinished projects are sitting in your hard drive right now?
No, I can't answer that. Sorry.
How?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I have, not too much. Only maybe 2 or 3, my
That's
whole
nice.
career. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice.
And
Not bad.
I'm not a big fan of leaving project unfinished
Lucky you.
because yeah, no, it's not easy because as I told you before, I'm pushing myself to finish my project
Yeah.
even I'm not in the mode, which
Yeah.
is not good for your health because sometimes I feel tired, I need sleep, I need to take weekend rest, but no, I go to work in weekend, I not sleep
Yeah.
just to finish. Yeah, that's good and not good at the same time. the best thing is to make a balance between finishing your project and have a good life and rest.
It's so crucial. Yeah, it's important. Let's move to the fourth question. And are you a morning artist or a night artist?
Mm. Currently, I'm a morning artist. I was like night artist before, but currently I'm trying to
Because of
organize my time.
course, it's important now. We have a studio, so you have to be a morning person.
Yeah. You need to wake up very early and go and work, make some progress in the early morning, because I feel morning is very good because productivity is very high. You feel clear. You start working with clear mind.
Yeah.
You can focus. There is no noise. So I'm trying to get to use the first 3 or 4 hour of the day to do the maximum work I can do, because after that everything become noisy. A lot of meeting, a lot of
It's not
calls, a
easy.
lot of noise.
Yeah. Last question. What's the best advice you ever received? It's a hard one. I'm sorry.
I have a bad memory. I received a very good advice, but I forgot it. I'm trying to remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe probably like dream big. Just dream big. Don't limit yourself. Don't say I will stay my whole life in this job, or I will stay my whole life in Tunisia. I will not go out. I can't do that. Just dream big. Even you think it's impossible, just try, because sometimes like impossible stuff happen. Yeah, don't limit yourself. Just dream big and plan for it. Just don't dream and stay. You need to dream and work for it.
Yeah.
Try to do both, and at some point you will achieve your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank you, Montassar. That
Thank you so
was a
much.
wrap on episode 2 of Untold Stories. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much
If you
for
have
inviting
anything to
me. It
say,
was a very good talk.
thank you. If you have anything
Yeah, I want to say something for new 3D artists and people who are not like struggling to get job now. Don't get demotivated. Me also, I get like at some point I didn't find job. I stayed without job for many months. So yeah, keep working, keep improving, keep learning. Don't try to do big project. You can do even small stuff. Just keep creating, posting. Don't do a full environment. Do single props with good quality and post it every week or every 2 weeks. Yeah, and at some point everything will be good.
Yeah. Honestly, thank you so much, Montassar, for being open, for being real, for being inspiring as well. That's exactly what this show is for. And I think what stays for me in today's episode, this is like Montassar is someone who kept going, and every time something stopped him, a project or a year got hard or life got complicated, he found the next thing, and how he is building something that's entirely his own in Tunisia, that takes like really a specific kind of, let's say, stubbornness, but the good kind of stubbornness. So if you are watching this and you are early in your journey, I hope today's episode reminded you that the messy middle is part of it, and it's not a sign that you are doing it wrong. It might actually be maybe a sign that you are doing it right. So and as well, I want to thank everyone who tuned in. Thank you for being here. They like my mug. I think CGconnect, they need to send them mugs. As well, thank you for your comments, guys, and for the energy, for the hearts. It's like generally makes this work like worth going and makes me super happy. And next month as well, we have another conversation coming, another creative on Untold Stories. So make sure you are subscribed on CGconnect so you don't miss it. Until then, keep creating, even it's hard, especially when it's hard. Just keep creating. So see you next month, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much again, Ines.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.